Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. When William Ruto introduced ETA, that is Electronic Travel Authorization, the intention was to reduce the over-reliance on visas, especially for African countries.
Beginning January 2024, Kenya will be a visa-free country. It shall no longer be necessary for any person from any corner of the globe to carry the burden of applying for a visa to come to Kenya. To echo the call of the Turkana people to the world, Tobongu Lore.
That was supposed to boost the tourism of Kenya. And William Ruto's target was that Kenya would be a destination for so many people. And talking about so many people, the result was supposed to be that Kenya would be popular amongst people. Now, guess what? Kenya ranks poorly in Africa despite Ruto's visa-free policy. That is what we are being faced with, ladies and gentlemen. And based on this story, let me just take you through it. Kenya has been ranked at position 46 out of 54 in the latest Africa Visa Openness Index of 2024. The 2024 report compared how countries are open to citizens of various countries across the continent. So in this report that was released on Monday, November 2024, Kenya had scored 0.113 and was ranked behind Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda. To make the story worse, Kenya only outscored Sudan, Libya, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, South Sudan, Egypt, Algeria, and Cameroon. So personally, this to me seems as if this is another bombshell on William Ruto's policies. Things are not working. This was expected to boost Kenya's ranking in Africa because now it is visa-free. But you must use the electronic travel authorization, which again makes or subjects you to be filling your details on a portal that has been allocated. This is not different from the visa policy. But in fact, this time round, this is more tiresome because it means every time you have to travel, you have to engage with that portal, and then there is some dollars which must be paid for that policy. Before we further this analysis, I'd like to kindly encourage you to go below and like this video. It's so important if you like this video because that is the only way YouTube shares our content. Subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed before, and to existing subscribers, thank you so much for that support.
First day and second day of the introduction of this system, there were a few teething problems. The form was a little bit longer, but as the DG has said, we have been able to reduce the form and make it as simple as possible. Initially, it used to take 10 minutes to fill the form when we started. But because of reviews and improvement of the system, now it takes 5 minutes to fill an ETA form.
Reviewing it every day, basing on the feedback that we are getting. And one of the biggest issues was the upload of a bank statement that we thought maybe it wasn't necessary then. So we have been able to remove that and many others.
Maybe William Ruto didn't have some ill intention with this electronic travel authorization. Maybe he wanted Kenya to be one of the destinations that each and every Africans would prefer. Maybe he had some positive interest in this all visa-free policy. But the result is what is scaring and is what has rated Kenya poorly in Africa. You know, being 46 out of 54, it means Kenya has only beaten 8 countries out of, and in fact, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda have outsmarted us in this new policy. So where did Kenya go wrong? Most likely, I could say that the people, the handlers, or the people who introduced this policy did not factor in so many things. Things that could have boosted Kenya's tourism. Things would have made Kenya ranked the best. Maybe they could have thought about this matter twice before embarking on ETA. Now, this report, ladies and gentlemen, is revealing that the performance of Kenya has been affected by the government's policy, which requires visitors to obtain an electronic travel authorization in the visa-free policy initiated by President William Ruto. So this is what the story reads in part. Kenya's requiring of an ETA prior to travel for most travelers from other African countries lowered the score. The story continues like this. Kenya now requires an ETA ahead of travel and only exempt East African members. This privilege extends to Burundi, DRC, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda. The report further highlighted that ETA was viewed as a form of visa by some travelers, despite the benefit of time saving, among others. And the story continues like this. ETA lead time that undermines spontaneous travel, the need for confirmed itineraries and accommodation can all serve as impediment to the free movement of people and undermine the inherent benefits of that ETA systems potentially offer. Kenya implemented the visa-free policy alongside the ETA requirements in 2024, and visitors are required to process at an ETA at USD 30, which translates to the current rate of 3,881 per traveler. That's if you are 3, you're supposed to part with around 10,000 or 11,000. So I think based on this story, the reason why maybe this matter could not be sitting well with majority of Africans is because you are supposed to disclose so much. In fact, the need to confirm itineraries and accommodation are served as impediment. The benefits of this ETA have been eroded by the fact that you have to declare so many things, where you say, of course, all itineraries and everything. So I think this is the reason why Africans view the ETA policy as just another version of visa. You're required to have an ETA document, yes. You're not required to come with a visa. Yes, that is it. But the only difference between the two, they say that it's just about the lead time, the time it takes you to process a visa and the time it takes you to process an ETA. So the lead time, when it comes to processing an ETA, ndio imekuwa kidogo imepungua. So the time taken has been reduced, but you have to part with around $30 US. So if this is what is happening, and this could have been one, according to William Ruto, this was one of the best policies that he ever initiated, and he knew that this was going to have some, positive effect, matters tourism and how Africans view Kenya. But if the rating has given Kenya 46 out of 54, it means that policy is not being welcomed well by majority of travelers. That could explain why you see Rwanda and TZ, their tourism is booming, but while in Kenya there's some little challenge as far as international travels and the like, and even domestic travel. So there's a problem which needs to be sorted, and I think Ruto will have to consider this issue of ETA. Well, from the story, it tells us that some East African countries like Rwanda, Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Sudan, some of these countries, Uganda, have been exempted from using the ETA. But other African nations must go through the ETA. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to rest my case there. But what do you think about this latest poll giving Kenya poor performance in terms of ranking on a visa-free policy? Go below in the comment section. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.